And we're back, Aaron Macy.
How are we?
Very well, mate. First cab off the rank, mate. I just want to apologise for the audio last week. We know there was a little bit of an issue, buddy old Tom. Yeah, look, these things happen, but apologies for the audio.
Yes, it wasn't the best. It sucked, but these things happen.
It is what it is.
Unlike
We've got the
us,
episode out.
Not everything's perfect.
A lot of feedback in the YouTube comments, actually. A lot around the audio and a little bit around Terrell, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people have come out and had their piece, and I think a lot of people are kind of siding with him a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of made that comment last week that maybe to keep it private. But you know what? I've sort of changed my mind on that, you know, like if he's felt like he's been really hard done by, and by all reports, I listened to him on the bye round, he was away playing for Samoa, got the call from Robbo.
Yeah,
that he was no longer wanted. So all the rumours and innuendo that was going around, you know, I don't buy into that shit, but I just thought maybe there is something wrong, like something has happened, and nothing has happened. So I do change my mind on that. The only thing I will say to Terrell or any player in the future is just don't burn any bridges. If you're going to come out and expose someone or a coach or a club for, just like the Titans kid, for, you know, not treating the player right or correct. Yeah. You know, player welfare is very important, financially especially. You know, just be careful you don't burn bridges. So, you know, I after a week of, you know, reading the comments, I do feel for Terrell, you know, and now he's at the Tigers, we can move forward. And
how old is he? Is he, 23?
You know, he's like he's mid-20s, so
24,
25, 26, and, you know, he said some really good things about supporting his family and wanting to buy a house for his parents and things like that for a Polynesian kid from Mount Druitt. That's the stuff you want to hear. And if I can give one piece of advice, like financial advice, is that, you know, it's very important to look after your money, because that was one of my goals, was to look after my family. Yeah. But I think I paid for most of the renovations at Sapphire in King's Cross. So
I said thanks.
You know what? They're things that's money I can never get back, right? So,
but you got some memories.
I got some great memories, mate. It's all up here.
Get a story later. Like
nothing that I can expose on a...
No Sapphire stories? Make up for the audio last week?
Most people that were my age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, they were right next to me at Sapphire. Those are the days. I feel sorry for kids these days. They don't know what...
It is. I'll tell you one thing. It's making a bit of a resurgence, lacrosse. It's not anything... I'm blessed. Like, I'm 34 now, and I was literally that last generation that got like a good 3 years of it. Yeah. Probably because I started the year early with the old fake ID.
Yeah, right.
Even though I look 12, like a 12-year-old girl.
You still get asked for ID.
But it was good. And it started. We've got Pelicano there now, Sasudio, a few. Tommy Gum's out there and moving around. I
saw that. I saw him spanking the planks, actually, old Tommy Gun. Look, it's probably a good thing for players these days, especially with the money they're making that the King's Cross days are done. Because with the technology, like I am lucky to get through my career, and that's one thing I can say is that clubs like the Dogs were very, very, very supportive of me. You know, I got in a fair bit of trouble. I made more front pages than back pages, but I don't want to be remembered for that shit. You know, I could still play the game as well. Players are a lot more professional, which is great to see. We do have the hiccup here and there, but you know what? At the end of the day, we're all human beings, regardless if we're athletes or not. We have the same emotions. We have the same colour blood. So yeah, the Terrell situation. I kind of want to lead that into Brendan Smith as well. Like, it's been rumoured for a few weeks, and now it's actually official that he's not wanted from 26. It makes me ask questions about the Roosters.
Well, there's even rumour from some reports. There was rumours that I think halfway through the season they were kind of looking at where they could offload him.
Yeah, right. Do you think it's performance based or?
Well, no, because I actually think he had a relatively good season.
Yeah, right.
It was in patches. It was certainly in patches, but I thought he played some of his better footy this year. Obviously, there's some sort of
Give me a rundown on, like, because obviously, you know, you being a massive Roosters supporter, like, give me the operation side of things? Obviously, Robbo's the coach. Who's his assistants? Who's head of
You've
football?
got Holbrook's assistant.
Yeah, I played with Justin. Great bloke.
They say he's
Very smart.
I know Braith. I was going to say Braith.
Very
gives him
intelligent.
a huge rap as a highly intelligent.
Yeah.
I think, and from more reports, he's probably better suited as an assistant.
Yeah,
Than a head
and a
coach.
great guy. Like
Yeah.
one of us. He's just a champion bloke. Who else is there? They got Friendy there. They've
So you've got Friendies there, Boydies there. They're looking after like the SG and that sort of stuff.
very
and then they're
successful
helping
players, right? Yeah.
Very successful. I think they're doing a pretty good job. I know Mitchell Pearce caught up with him the other day.
Yeah. They've
He's
got
doing a
Pearcey
bit
back there?
They've got Pearcey back doing halves coaching with the younger players.
Unreal.
There's big raps on a young half in the.
Keep that
That's
quiet,
an East
mate.
Junior. I'm not mentioning the name, but
An East Junior. There's not
East
many
Junior.
Roosters Juniors these days. But anyway,
but
who's head of
and then
football?
you've got another player, Orbo.
Yeah, Orbo.
Mr. Fix-It is now head of football.
Right. Okay. I don't know. From the outside looking in, for me, mates, is like you've got the Terrell situation, who did nothing wrong. Like he hasn't done anything wrong. Showed a lot of promise in the front row.
Huge promise.
You know.
It was a shock to me as a fan when we saw we're letting go of him.
All right. So played big minutes. Had a lot to learn around the middle of the ruck, which would have developed.
Definitely.
And then you've got Brendan Smith, who is a character. Like he's on the buy round. I like listening to him.
Yeah.
You know he's a knockabout bloke. To me, it feels like the Roosters are trying to create the perfect athlete, like the perfect culture. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like they're just trying to create something that doesn't exist within the complete organisation. And I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think you need people that are a little bit abrasive, a little bit rough around the edges, right? I don't think there's ever been a team that has 17 perfect humans. You do want the right culture, absolutely. You know, you want players to buy in, but I'm a little bit confused around their retainment at the moment.
It's this is the first time I've been very perplexed looking at who have let go, who are chasing. I think Reece Robson's an awesome acquisition.
Oh, absolutely. But again, from an outsider's perspective, he seems like the perfect athlete. Like, you know what I mean?
I think just look. I know one thing.
The
I know
ultimate professional.
The ultimate professional. The trend, like culture, is a word, and you hear it synonymous, like the Roosters, Melbourne, Dogs. Now, again, especially. One thing they've always been big on is that culture.
Yeah.
And I know even from when like Mitchell Pearce was there, he used to talk about it and what their belief system in and the belief that they had in Robbo.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's been a difference. I know and now you've got like obviously I think Mitchell Orbison's got a pretty big say now in head of football in.
Right. Okay.
I don't know exactly, but I think he's probably got a pretty big say. And as you know what he was the ultimate professional.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't talented, he's definitely talented,
Yeah.
but didn't have freakish speed or anything like that. He was just the ultimate professional.
The Mr. Fixer.
Mr. Fix-It. And did it right. And I think you look at a player like some of those like Nat Butchers, similar-esque style of player.
Good leaders.
Good leaders. Like, you know what? They're probably your best players at training and they give you a solid game each game. Are they going to win your games? Not often, but they're certainly not going to do anything wrong to lose
They're
them.
not going to, they're not going to let you down. I just feel like, I don't know, this is just a personal opinion. I feel like the Roosters are being very reactive and panicking a little bit in terms of their long-term retainment, recruitment. It just feels like what they're trying to create, they already had, and it doesn't. They're trying to perfect, and it doesn't exist. You need, unfortunately, you need the people that are, like I said, abrasive, rough around the edges, come from Housing Commission, like just not your old professional but different, right?
Well, like you said, it's like that. It's like a big fruit salad, but you need it to work.
A big fruit salad. It's a bit of a weird
That's
analogy.
a weird, you know what I mean? But you need a bit of difference. You can't have 17 of the same mindset. Like
sometimes you need a bit of oil and water. it doesn't mix.
It doesn't
You know,
mix.
it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's chemistry. But anyway, I think
It's going to be, like, as an East supporter, you're a little bit nervous looking at it because you've currently got, at this point, I would think, you've either got three options in the centres. Billy Smith, who's been about, he's got
Few injuries.
he's had a lot of sound this year. When he's sound, he's very good.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's obviously got the right attitude, and it's a poor guy. They've got Rob Toyer, where there's raps bigger than Christmas on, but has also had issues with injuries.
Okay.
Played a lot of reserve grade. I know the raps on him are huge. I think Marky Mark is looking to probably play centre.
Yeah.
I think they're looking to certainly train him there.
Yeah, I just feel like everything's probably a little bit reactive at the moment. And a little bit
Do you just think it could also, now after the injuries, it's almost like is next year, 2025, almost the practice year for 2026?
well, the pressure cooker's up, you know, because you've just lost Jared, Suoli'i, Joey Manu. You know, there's three big game players there, a lot of talent, experience. Kiri. So everything seems like, all right, we need to perfect our culture. We're in a bit of not a rebuild phase, maybe a mid rebuild.
I think it's like the closest you'll see the Roosters get to a rebuild phase.
Yeah, true. Look, they've got long-term goals. I just feel the Terrell situation and now the Brandon Smith.
I think they also thought they were going to get Ben Hunt. I reckon they thought that deal was very close to being done.
Anyway, that's enough on the Roosters. Let's move on. What else have we got?
We have got, give me 1 second, Isaiah Yeo.
Yeah, congrats, Isaiah Yeo. Golden Boot winner, eh?
He seems like that culture play that we described.
Yeah, you build a club around him.
100%.
Cleary, Isaiah, but in particular, Yoey. You build the Australian team around him. And I love, you know what the thing is with Yoey, right, is just the way he's developed his game.
Yeah.
Because he was just that middle half that no one knew how to handle. He'd catch on A, skip over to C, play out the back, they'd get him on the edges.
Yeah.
Then Cam Murray was doing it, Radley was doing it. Queensland figured it out, and it didn't work in Origin when we lost one of the series.
Yeah.
And then he's straightened up his
Just
attack.
straighten his game back up.
But he still has the skip overs and play out the back as well. Yeah. He's 6'5", big boy, hard to handle. Just the way he just didn't stick to one style of play.
Yeah.
His work rate in defence, his leadership. There is not one player in the game other than Yoey that deserves the Golden Boot. And congratulations to him, man. He's been the ultimate Australian, New South Welshman, Panther for a number of years. So it's good to finally get an Aussie back in the Golden Boot, right?
I know. I was having a look. Give me 1 second. Have a look at the names. You've got last year Fisher Harris.
Deserved.
Very well deserved. Penrith. And then Joey Manu.
Deserved.
21 COVID. Then Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
What year was that?
That was 2019.
19? I can't remember.
He was fullback at the Warriors.
Right.
Then you had Tommy Mackison from St Helens.
Oh, that's right. I remember because we're so, obviously the game came from England.
Yeah.
Like Australia's been dominant for so long and then it went back to an English player. I can't remember who exactly had a good year for the Australians, but there was a little bit of conjecture around that. But anyway.
I don't, it sounds awful to say, but it's almost like the way we look at it, it's like, oh my God, a New South Wales Cup player won the boot.
Oh, you said it.
I actually really enjoy, I don't watch it all the time. I actually enjoy watching their game.
It's free flowing. Did you see Bevan French this year?
They reckon he was just unbelievable. I only saw a few highlights.
Just watch his highlights.
Mate,
outstanding.
There was some speculation he's returning to the NRL.
Well, he's not wasted over there because I love being able to, in a inferior, is that the word? Inferior? inferior competition. But yeah, Yoey, he's back. We've got an Aussie. I know
last
Congrats.
Aussie was a little bloke called Cameron Smith.
Who is he?
Fuck.
I watched.
Is he an immortal?
Absolutely. You know, I watched 06. I don't know why. Someone brought up 06, my one and only test. And I can't remember the game. Like I don't think I've ever watched it. It came up on YouTube and I watched it from start to finish. And the last play of the game, Lockie throws me a ball and it kind of just goes behind my head and I catch it. And then Rapati comes up and that's when I do my syndesmosis. But far out, like playing a test for your country, and I was looking at the team just going, oh my God, I played in that team with those guys. I get to 42 now. Willie Mason and I speak about it. It feels like a past life, you know? And I just watched this game and I just thought, fuck, look how young I am. Playing, and I forgot I was playing against Stacey Jones and, you know, Nigel Vangana and Ruben Wiki.
Fuck, there's some good names.
But then I looked at the Australian team and I was like, GI was on the wing. Matty King, Gasnier and Hodges were the centres. The halves were Thursday, Lockie. I was Lock, Luke O'Donnell and Hindmarsh in the back row. Petro was my front rower.
Wow.
Cam Smith. Who was the other front rower? Mark O'Mealy. Carmichael was the fullback. And on the bench was Mace, Andrew Ryan.
Mace on the bench.
Brent Kite.
You'd remind him of that.
And I can't remember who the other person was on the bench. But anyway.
What an all-star lineup.
Fuck, I just looked back and thought how, like, privileged I was to play in that side. And I thought, fuck, I didn't play that bad. Like, I would have kept my spot if I didn't get injured. So, anyway, I'm not trying to give myself a rap here. But, playing for your country, it was so long ago. It just felt like it was a past life. And it was just good to watch some old games. And our man, Footy Hacks, Elijah Taylor, what a guy he is. He did a podcast with Big Les and gave me a shout out. I had to repost that.
Repost that?
Yeah. Let's move on. What else have we got, bud?
Mate, we have got, and I mentioned this to you, I'm going to give myself a little rap here, and then you gigged me for it.
Okay.
So, I think 3 months ago I said, PNG, it's a done deal. And then it came out that Perth Bears, it came out in the news, Perth Bears going to be there.
I think it was the other way around, mate. You told me Perth were in.
No, I told you PNG.
I knew PNG was in.
Oh.
I spoke to the PNG Prime Minister. We had some beetle nut together and we had a chat.
I remember saying it anyway. I swear, it's just funny the way it happened. I said, it's a done deal. And then that afternoon it come out in the news, Perth Bears. And you said, great scoop.
Mad scoop. No, look, I don't want to get this up, but I think the Australian government's involved. So there's 600 million that PNG bring into the competition.
Yeah.
The government's obviously involved. I think it's around China, keeping a stronghold in the Pacific. I think it's great. It's awesome. I've been to PNG about 6 times. It is like a religion to them. There's like rugby league and then religion and then beetle nut. But it's just like they are the best people. They are the best people. Like it gets a bad rap. It doesn't get a bad rap. It's probably one of the most dangerous countries in the world. But as people and doing a lot of charity work over there, like I just love the place. So they deserve a spot in the NRL. What I will say, and I think Gus brought this up on levels, is that we need to really invest the NRL in the Pacific even more. And I'm talking even more with maybe even another New Zealand team, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, which they already are. But I think we just need to really double down on it. Right?
We were talking before and you said that over there you've still got 100 kids playing touch footy of an afternoon. You know what I mean? You go of an after school, they're out there. They're not sitting there on their iPads like every kid here and playing Call of Duty and whatever other shit they're up to.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I hated school.
Yep.
I would get there I would get there the second that you could get there because we'd play touch footy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I went to a Catholic school, so you're in like suit pants and a tie, and you're playing.
You'd be still playing.
You're playing touch footy for an hour and a half before school started.
Yep.
And you would go home and you'd either go for a surf and then probably play more footy. And you'd be at the park tackling each other.
Yep.
That's what we did as kids.
Oh, what is it? Like 55% of the NRL is Indigenous and Pacifica, right? I think we just really need to double down on it because, like you said, over there, they've just got footies in their hands. And you think back, like, I think participation in the South comp especially is definitely dropping. I think you're going to have to look externally for the kick-outs, you know, the Olams. I believe Marcus Bai might have came from PNG. But what I'm saying is if you want top elite players, we've got to go look in the islands, you know, and they are doing it. But
that's where we find our best Roosters juniors.
Exactly. Well, no, you don't because they just signed with the Dogs.
Oh, that's
Roosters lost it. You know, that's the thing.
But
they're with the Dogs now. That's you know, and I know Gus brought this up on levels, but he's absolutely right that we can't miss this opportunity to find talent in the Pacific. We need to invest into it because at some point, the game and if we want to bring more teams into the competition, where are you going to find the talent?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's in the islands, you know, and it's an opportunity for Volandis to just double down on it. And you know what else, man? I'd be looking in the States as well.
But it's like you're in my head then. I was about to say, I'd definitely be looking
I'd be looking into the States, bro. Like 350, 400 million people.
Have a look. Like, I think it's such a huge opportunity. Not just that. Think of how many kids that learn and they're trying to get into the NFL and play college ball and that.
Absolutely.
And there's kids that are just ultra talented athletes.
Just really athletic. And if you think of the long game, like it can be an international sport, like rugby union, you know, like 15 to 20 years, you know, it could be a global game. And I think that should be one of our priorities is to say, right, we're doubling down in the Pacific. We're going to start sending scouts over to the States because unfortunately, I think the game might be not progressing fast enough or enough, like long term. I just feel it might be dying in Australia in terms of the athlete, the talent, because it is scary. There's more access to information now with head knocks and stuff like that. I get it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, to grow the game internationally, I think the NRL just need to start looking abroad.
Yeah, I agree. I think like even coaching with the kids this year and you look at those comps, like the East comp now plays with the Balmain comp and even like that South comp, once they get to I think it's like some of the 14s and that, they're playing in the Balmain comp now.
Yeah.
Like back when I was a kid, that South comp, you played in it, it used to have 2 divisions in each age.
Yeah, you'd have 2 or 3 teams in every, like Kenzo, who we played for, doesn't exist anymore.
Gone.
I go down to Heffron this afternoon to watch League Tag, and it's like full of kids.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a safer option for parents. I understand. Like, I get it. So maybe we'll get more participation, or, you know, I just think we've gone through a bit of a lull.
Definitely.
Would you agree?
Completely.
Do you know what I mean? Over the last sort of 10 years?
We just look at grassroots has definitely got smaller.
Yeah. So
I don't know what the statistical numbers are, but I know just from going to watch kids sport, there's no way you had to see those Balmain comps, those West comps wouldn't even play in the South comp until you got up to like 16s when you're playing rep and things like that.
Yeah.
Because there was enough. It was overflowing.
Well, the number one sport, just to go back in the islands, is rugby union.
Yeah.
But, you know, Samoa making the final, Tonga beating Australia first, then they beat the Kiwis, they make a final. The tide's turning, you know, like there's more kids that are starting to look at rugby league and going, oh, maybe I want to do that, you know, and it obviously gives, to take a kid out of the islands, put him through education here as well, give their parents an opportunity to come over and get a job, or someone in their family. like a pathway system to be able to send money back to the islands. Like there's so many benefits for the NRL and the Pacific to collaborate a little bit more. Like it's there, but it's not there, right? So, yeah, I think PNG, to go back to our original, conversation, PNG coming into the competition is fantastic. I tell you what, I do not want to play up in PNG. Like when
Who's
you think
the coach going to be?
I have no idea. If you think Townsville's hot, go to PNG. Fuck me. So look, fantastic, awesome, great for the country. I believe it's a 10-year plan that the government can maybe pull out of. So let's just get this thing right,
Yeah, definitely.
Off the back of Vegas as well.
They can pull their funding out of something. I read that just before.
Yeah, so, off the back of Vegas as well. The game's growing. We're in a good spot.
We are. They definitely need to fix what's going on in the grassroots.
Don't know how you fix it. I just don't know how you fix it because, participation, the non-competition, non-competitive.
But it's,
I'm not going to get into it with you. I know you've got your opinion. I've actually heard some stats around why they do it, but it's another podcast. The NRL actually invested a lot of money into the non-competitive aspect of it. They sent some people around the world to find out what other countries do. Some countries are non-competitive till 16.
That's disgraceful. And what country?
But they're probably playing soccer.
Ugh. Exactly.
Oh,
we don't
God.
want those people participating in our nice tough sport.
They're making some money, mate. They're making some paper, those blokes.
I know what.
Jesus. Anything else on the radar, bud?
I think that's just about it for the week. I think we've got a little special guest next week.
Special guest, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll do a Christmas special.
Yeah, we'll do that as a Christmas special, I think. And then we're going to have probably 3 weeks off over that Christmas break.
Yep.
And then we'll be back into it with maybe a new inclusion.
Quick shout out to Y Swim, my man Willie Tonga. These
They're
shorts,
absolute
I love
crackers.
the indigenous patterns. There's different colours. Y Swim, WAI Swim. So check them out, man. My boy Willie T, he's just expanding.
They come in my size?
Yeah, for little bikini.
The bikini? Do they do a mankini?
Little mankini for you.
What about What about the rig on him?
Yeah, the Moreton Bay Fig. He's training hard. He's training hard. He's
Talking about another bloke with a great rig. I saw Big Lukey O'Donnell the other day.
Jesus Christ. He's a machine.
Absolute machine.
Even in that, he was like one of the most feared players or never took a backward step from anyone. He's such a good guy.
And he's such, I've got to know him off the field and through mutual friends and stuff. And, to have a beer with and just to see him, he's so softly spoken, just an absolute gentleman. But when he was on the field, he's just a fucking lunatic.
Animal. So, anyway, Christmas special next week, Mace.
Yes.
Tommy Gunn. Mace is going to take us out for Mimi's.
Mimi.
BTFU Beery, if you're watching. See you next week, mate. Let's go.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.